All right, coin lovers. Sean here with BlueRidgeSilverhound. Welcome back to a weekend edition of the Pocket Change Market Report. Okay, the date is June 27th, 2020. This probably marks the final Pocket Change Market Report for the month of June as we head into much deeper into the summer months with July coming up here. Just a little I guess, house cleaning item. I will not be doing a Pocket Change Market Report for next weekend for the 4th of July holiday. I may or may not do one earlier, like maybe on a Thursday. We'll see how that goes. Or it could be the following Monday. All right, because Sunday I still intend on doing the regular Monday market report for modern graded coins. That one is still slated to happen next Sunday night. So we'll see how that happens. But in any event, we are going to go ahead and jump into some notable sales of raw coins that people have found in change or bank rolls through coin roll hunting methods. Varieties, errors, just some really interesting stuff that people are finding and making a good grip of money on. All right. Same thing always applies to every single Pocket Change report. We're using raw images. Okay, I'm not enhancing them in any way. I'll crop them a little, so that way it'll make sense for a lot of you watching exactly what to look for. There's no need to, have a complete image with someone's sub sandwich in the background. All right, so we're not going to do that. Although you guys might like that. I don't know. And usually with these reports, okay, the main idea is finding the coins that you could add to your collection or selling them on the spot. Okay, there's no need to grade them. Therefore, we're not going to highlight any graded coins on the PCMR report for short. Pretty busy week. We have a few really interesting coins and even some currency on the list that people are buying up, and they're paying a lot more money than probably you would even imagine, considering that these are all raw, ungraded coins and currency. But even throughout the summer, as we head into the middle part of the summer, it's still busy. People are, adding to their collections, and, money is flying around. No pun intended. And lastly, I wanted to go ahead and do the YouTube thing. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my videos if you enjoy the content. All of the extra support that you send my way will be greatly appreciative, especially during these trying times. So I want to thank everybody for all the views and support, and let's buckle in and let's really hammer down some really neat coins and currency. You never know what's out there. All right, so we're going to start off with this 2001 Lincoln Memorial cent. This one is off-center by probably 3%. It's not a lot. But this is a type of coin right here that does come up in rolls. All right, it still fits in a standard Lincoln cent roll. It might be just slightly or marginally bigger than a standard diameter or circumference, I suppose, Lincoln cent. This is a copper-coated zinc coin, but even a minor coin like this still has some secondary market. All right, so this one right here sold for $12.20. And by the way, all the prices include shipping. So however much that entails, to send out, that is included in the total price that I am going to be quoting for you on this video. So keep an eye out for some of these marginally kind of minor errors like this off-center. You'd be surprised how much they command when you go to sell them. All right, it's very surprising. Here's another one from the same seller. This time it's not as nearly impressive because of the grade, but we have a coin here that's probably off-center 3 to 4%. It's a little bit deeper, a little bit kind of wider than the other coin, but this is a 2000 Lincoln Memorial. It is not a wide AM, in case you're curious, variety. But anyways, the coin obviously has seen quite a bit of circulation just based off of the overall look of the coin on screen. This one sold for $7.55. Again, between the two coins, it's $20. that otherwise you wouldn't have had. You would just thrown these coins back; they would have went to the bank. So make sure you kind of like cross some T's, dot them I's when you're looking through these coins, because there's a lot out there. You just have to get in really close. And there's a few other coins that are kind of sneaky. Like you wouldn't even know they'd be worth anything unless you got in close. And the reason why I bring that up is one of the most important tools of the trade is a magnifier. Alright, so anything 8 to 10 times power, as far as a jeweler's loop or a triplet magnifier, is going to be perfect for these excursions, going out, buying rolls, going through them. If you guys need it, I also have some relatively inexpensive models available in the description box below, so you'll go ahead and hit show more, open that up. I have a bunch of Amazon links. With every purchase you make, it does support BlueRidgeSilverhound. So thank you for the folks that have actually purchased some inventory off of there. And again, a magnifier is inexpensive. You know, generally they're $6 to $10, and it's going to be the best investment that you'll ever need for coin collecting. All right, so enough about that. Let's go ahead and check out the next coin. A 1954D Lincoln Wheat Cent. The coin on its face, very circulated. It probably grades out, you know, VF35, maybe XF40 on a good day. But this is a coin, again, that you could find in change, usually out of a $25 box of Lincoln cents. You'll come across maybe 10 to 15 Lincoln Wheat Cents. And most of the time, they're going to be 1950s, some of the more common dates. So with this particular coin right here, this one is a great date and a great mint mark to find varieties. And in this particular case, this is a really nice RPM or repunch mint mark. You could see this extra D that's punched north of the primary D. Now, these coins, prior to 1990, the actual mint mark was actually hammered in independently on the die from everything else. So the room for error certainly exists, and you know, sometimes a mint employee will have to tap that that mint mark in a couple times to get it right. You know, maybe they tapped it in and looked kind of off, or you know, not in the typical spot that you would see a mint mark, so they'll tap it in again, and that's where you get something like this. It's a feast for the eyes if you find one, and it's a great find nonetheless. All right, so keep an eye out for RPMs for all dates going all the way up to about 1989. All right, they even exist on some of the earlier Denvers of the 80s. So pretty neat. This one right here is sold for $13.59. You find enough of them, you cobble them together, sell them on eBay. You can easily make a few $100s just going through RPMs. Pretty nice. All right, so we have a dealer that sells some of these full BU rolls of later date shield cents. This one and the next photo I'm going to show you are from the same seller. So this one right here is a 3-roll lot of 2019 Philadelphia shield cents that sold for $15.99. 3 rolls is about where the weight threshold would be for first class shipping, and that's the reason why this particular seller is selling it in 3-roll lots in the next one that you see here. $15.99 obviously is a great price. You know, you spent $4 for shipping. This person would probably net out about $6 in profit. That's not bad. A lot of people had said, you know, I'm coming across all of these like newer, you know, date rolls, and I just don't want to go through them. Okay, for the mere reason that, you know, there's not a lot to find in there. Well, you know, there is something to find in even these newer rolls. But if you didn't want to go through it, you could sell it much like this and then turn a few dollars profit doing so. So the same seller also sells lots of 2 rolls. All right, and in that particular case, he's making a little bit more money, selling it for $12.99. Probably profiting about $6.50, $7 at the end of the day after shipping and fees. But, you know, if you have some of these rolls just laying around, you know, this is a good way to kind of liquidate through some of the inventory, in addition to padding your PayPal account with more money. All right, so again, it all adds up. Keep that in mind. if you do come across these full bank boxes of just solid BU coins. All right, they can be a little cumbersome to go through if you wanted to, but let other people take care of that. You just sell the rolls and make a few bucks here and there. All right, so this is a nice, pleasant surprise to come across. A 1984 D Denver minted candy half dollar that exhibits a pretty nice sized clip. All right, so it actually obliterated most of the 1 in the date and then the bottom part of the 9, but this one right here is a pretty nice example. It looks like it's circulated a little bit. It's got some gunk on the reverse. This one sold for $14.99. The pictures were just good enough because there was 3 images altogether on this one. There was a complete, just kind of like bird's eye view of the obverse, the front of the coin, but a lot of it was like cut off. Like the photography was decent, but you got to take a picture of the entire coin and not 70% of the coin. But on the reverse, you can see the Blakesley effect, kind of this flattening here on the opposite side of where the clip is. You always want to look for that to make sure that you have a legitimate error. But this is pretty cool, all right, and not bad for 15 bucks. All right, laminations are always one of my favorite kind of like top-end errors because to a lot of people it looks like damage, but to people who are privy to these type of errors, just the overall kind of like impurities of the alloy mix of the coins, especially during the 30s and 40s, will generally make these particular coins unstable even after the strike. Okay, you're going to get like flaking. It's just bad quality planchets. This is a 1946 Jefferson Nickel. This particular coin right here sold for $18.25. All right, so pretty nice coin. Do definitely keep an eye out for laminations. I have a few of them on the list. You'll see that they command a reasonable amount of money in the marketplace. Okay, so if you're not at all attracted to these type of coins, then by all means get rid of them and then buy something else that is more along your lines. This one is a retained lamination because there's an actual piece still attached to the coin, and those are always a lot more desirable in the marketplace. All right, so keep that in mind there. Little die break cuts are pieces of the die that after a lot of wear and a lot of strikes will actually begin to fall off. Now, a usual cut involves any spot along the rim. Okay, in this case, the truncation of Abraham Lincoln's bust. You'll see this nice little chip right here. This is a cut. A piece of the die had fallen off after a number of strikes. But this is a relatively kind of more modern date, 1994. It's in the copper-coated zinc planchet era of Lincoln cents. So it's pretty phenomenal to find a coin that is barely 25 years old with something like this. But this one sold for 25 bucks, and a best offer was accepted on this particular coin. Small, subtle, yet when you find one, you'll know exactly what it is, and you can see this pretty visibly with the naked eye. All right, so for those of you that don't particularly like to get in close to some coins, okay, you're going to be missing out. And this is just a prime example of a find that a person had, come across and probably at first glance didn't think much of it. Okay, the coin is a Harper's Ferry 2016 Philly, but just by looking at it, it's like, oh man, this thing's rough. It's not what I would consider to be like a saver in most cases. Usually, if I was putting together like a national park set, like an album or a folder, I would probably want a coin that is high mint state, like a 64, 65. But this one right here has definitely seen some circulation. But to a savvy eagle-eyed, searcher, they're going to find things like little die chips. All right, so this one has a die chip at the top of the roof, and you see this little kind of like church bell steeple-looking thing over here. There's actually another die chip in there as well. I just didn't put the image on this particular slide. But right here, we have a coin that sold for $6.15. Easy sale. You would net out probably $3 profit. You put this in a number 10 envelope in between maybe a couple of index cards, okay, and then throw up a forever stamp and you're good to go, okay, and you have made a few bucks. All right, it seems like a little bit amount of money, but I'm telling you, when you have that person that likes to search through rolls and change and all that great stuff, believe me, they are going to sell their 50 to 100 coins every month because they take great pictures and they recognize that even some of the smallest errors actually has some value. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, so here's another fantastic looking lamination, this time on a 1960 large date Lincoln Memorial set. This one is a retained lamination, although you could probably grip that strip right there where the T of trust is and peel this thing off. I mean, I wouldn't recommend doing it, that's for sure. It's just much more impressive when you have a retained lamination. This one right here, guess what? Sold for $45. That's a phenomenal amount of money for laminations. Generally with laminations, these things have a ceiling, all right? You usually don't see a lot of laminations that hit that $40 to $50 mark, but it has to be pretty impressive in order to do so. So from a different angle, you could see just how cool this lamination is. You can see how it just kind of flakes off and just sits there like rusted metal. So these are definitely desired, especially in this state. The coin on its face is not a high-grade specimen, but it is good enough, along with the error, to command a pretty decent amount of money. It's a tank of gas for like a pickup truck. It's pretty incredible. All right, so do not sleep on Canadian coins, because I will tell you this. Canadian coin error collecting is pretty popular, although it's kind of more of a niche group of people that actually go out of their way to collect some of the nicer Canadian errors. Make sure that even if it's a minor one, okay, there's going to be some desirability with those type of coins. So right here we have a what looks to be a 1962 Canada 1 cent. This one has a late stage brockage on the reverse, as you can see. Pretty nice error, and here you go. This will knock your socks off. This one sold for $212.18. So far, it's the most expensive coin on the list, and yeah, there's not too many that's surpassed that on the list. So this one right here, really nice example. Looks like it's circulated a little bit. You just never know what you're going to find out there, guys. All right, on to a little bit of paper money currency. So how about a $100 bill? It's a 2009A series. This is the colorized, advanced, newer $100 bill that you see out there today. Although this one has a cutting error because you could obviously see the edge of sheet selvage, which, that's what this orange and kind of like peach toned area is. This was all supposed to be cut off. But that's part of the security features of that particular sheet. And yeah, the cut job was just bad on this one. And it's an incredible error. And for whatever reason, it's seen some circulation. You can see folds and a couple areas of folds or whatever. So pretty nice error. This one sold for $279.99. Anytime you have a note with some of the extra edging of the currency sheet, they call that selvage, S-E-L, vig, not salvage, and that's generally what you have. And when these show up like this, it's a cutting error, is what it is. So, and there's a reverse too. You can see that the reverse sheet has a little bit different color on there, and the reason why that is when they feed the sheets in. If they're all setting up with that peach color, then it's in a good spot for the press. All right, so there you go. Yeah, hard to believe this thing had seen any circulation. All right, one of my favorite dates, because you have the big double die, of course, for the 1969S Lincoln Memorial cent. But this one also has quite a few examples that exhibit what you would consider to be machine doubling or strike doubling. Okay, it's a type of damage that happens at the mint. It hasn't been quite adopted as being a variety or an error, even though it occurs at the mint. And this is all a result of, just overworn equipment. The dies will shake and rattle as they're striking these coins and will produce a little bit of shift. One of the marquee things you'll look for is the flat step-like features, the shelf-like features on the coins. Plus, the thing is with strike doubling, it's actually going to smash into the devices, literally kind of minimizing exactly the look of the letters compared to what they should be. But this example right here looks to be in pretty good shape. Sold for a best offer of $38.59, proving once again that these type of coins have that niche cult following. All right, and that's why there are people that bid up these coins, is to be able to obtain some of the nicer examples with some of the most dramatic of strike doubling. All right, so we got a 2000 Lincoln Memorial. Again, we are getting much newer on some of these errors, and again, on this coin, we have another pretty nice size cud at the base of the Lincoln bust. Please do keep an eye out for these. Generally, they're not seen on these newer coins like this, but this is kind of like an anomaly, a one-off. And because of the desirability of these type of coins, they get bid up quite robust. This one sold for $35.75. All right, so here's a dollar bill. This time it's a 1977A series Federal Reserve note, and you'll see that it has a couple voids here. Okay, they call these gutter folds. And real simply, to explain it, the sheet before it was even printed had some wrinkles in it. All right, so the wrinkles are very nice and tight, and it's only after the sheet had been printed on where you could pull the note apart, and then you get this kind of gutter action where where that wrinkle was, that fold. It just missed all of the printing. Okay, it's a very, very visually appealing type of error. It even shows on the reverse too. So this one right here sold for $69. Okay, and that's usually the going rate for these. These are kind of like on the more minor side of paper money errors, but they are worth quite a bit of money. All right, I'm throwing caution to the wind because this coin has circulated quite a bit, and the first reaction that I believe a lot of people have when they see and hold something like this is, man, this thing got destroyed. All right, that's going to be about the common, I guess, answer to a lot of people's inquiry about this coin. Is they're going to look at it and they're like, man, this thing got smashed up and then clipped and destroyed. But if you know your mint errors, this is actually a very complex error. The coin was struck off center, first of all. And the coin has 1, 2, 3 clips on it. It's a triple clipped coin. Now, how much does something like this go for? Obviously, you don't have a full date. Okay, I think a lot of the desirability revolves around off-center coins that exhibit a full date. I mean, we do know it's a coin from the 80s, but this one sold for $83.48. Check out that condition. It's gone through many hands, and it's been through many cash registers. It has been unloved, and then someone finally said, "Hey, you know what? We have something here," and that's why that it doesn't matter how crappy or how junky your coin is. You don't know if it's damaged. You don't know if it's a mint error. Pull the coin out and let someone take a look at it. Okay? There's a lot of resources on Facebook, and there's forum sites online that you could be joined to get some information on this type of coin. All right, so this is a really pleasing 1980 Philadelphia Washington quarter off-center by probably about 15%. Really nice, clean, high-end example. This one sold for $196.70. Probably one of the more tougher dates to find with an actual off-center error. All right, so we have two coins here, but one is a comparison coin and the other one is the actual error. So the coin on the left looks like it's just a overly large Roosevelt dime, okay? And this is a broad struck 1990 Philadelphia Roosevelt dime. All right, so it was struck without the collar seated in there. So when the coin was struck, all this extra metal just kind of, squeezed out of the thing. And this one right here is sold for $32.98. That's what the reverse looks like. All right, so it doesn't even have a full rim. You would need the collar to keep the planchet in while it's being struck in order to get not only the rim, but also the reeded edge. Okay, and that's the grippy lines on the edge of the coin. All right, I am going to tell you this right now. Brand new coins for 2020, because of the way they were produced, they're rushed. We have a coin shortage. There are a lot of variables that's making some of these coins for this particular year absolutely dynamite and a must find. Make sure you're looking through all your coins, whether it's a Philadelphia, whether it's a West Point, like some of those rare quarters, or even possibly a Denver. All right, so this is a 2020 Philadelphia American Samoa double bat quarter, but this one has a pretty phenomenal strike through right here on one of its eyes. And I've been seeing this quite often, and I'm seeing it more often, and these are impressive. Super impressive. This one even has a little bit of feeder finger damage right here in the fields. You can see these marks that are parallel to each other, these lines. But to give you an idea of the desirability of these coins, I mean, we are in 2020, right? Advancement of technology, quality control should be better. This one sold for $39.19, and people are still finding these left and right, even to this day. Make sure you're looking at all of your 2020 quarters and Lincoln cents for some of these drastic quality control hiccups. You can monetize greatly on these this year. All right, all it takes is a little simple kind of shallow rim clip, especially on this 1974 Jefferson Nickel. Believe me, it's a date that not a lot of people pay attention to because it's 1974, right? So this one right here has a small, mild clip, and even with that, it's still sold for $8.50. And by the way, all these sales were from the last 24 hours. Thank you very much on eBay. Here's another nickel. Again, if you're not looking for stuff like this, you really wouldn't know what you're looking at. All right, so this one exhibits a misaligned die. All right, you can see that right here on the obverse. Okay, you have a much thicker rim right here. All right, and then on the reverse, it's nice and centered. Okay, you don't have that same kind of like off-center look that you would normally have on the front. But a coin like this, the 73, sold for $13.50. Again, always has value. You just need to know what to look for. 1954S Lincoln Wheat Cent. Again, not a glamour queen. We have featured a lot of very circulated coins on the list. This is another one. This one right here exhibits a really nice retained lamination. As bad as the pictures are, it has just enough bite to let you know that this is a lamination. Now this one right here sold for $24.74. Okay, that's a lot of money. Keep that in mind as you're searching through your coins. All right, for those of you that like to search for these silver wartime nickels, this is a 1945 Philadelphia, so it's one of the more common dated silver nickels to find out there. This one is in much nicer shape. So it's always good to look at and cherry pick these higher graded coins. Okay, they can be had for about $3 to $5. Most of them will fall into that kind of price range if you're looking for a nice specimen for an album. But keep in mind, with these big mint marks that you see above the dome in Monticello, or Monticello, however you want to pronounce it, all right, there's a lot of repunch mint marks. This is another big one right here. You can see the secondary P is struck south of the primary. All right, so that's a very impressive variety right there. Another minor off-center coin, this time featured on a 1976 Roosevelt Dime. This one is probably about 4% off center. It's much more dramatic on the reverse right here. But again, this is a coin that is just the right kind of size that'll still fit in a Roosevelt Dime roll. Okay, this one sold for $12.50. Easy money. And the last two coins, believe it or not, are both counterfeits. Okay, this 1944 Jefferson Nickel, obviously you guys know that this is supposed to be a 35% silver manganese composition. However, a known counterfeiter by the name of Henning actually produced a number of various worn-looking counterfeit nickels. Okay, and they have been affectionately referred to as Henning Nickels over the years. And he had produced these in the early 50s. Okay, until he was caught, and he subsequently went to prison as a result of his counterfeiting activities. But this is a coin right here again that should really have a large mint mark above Monticello, or Monticello, however you want to call it. This one has also the kind of like the signature of the counterfeiting artist. All right, and that's going to be this little loop here on the bottom of the R in pluribus. He puts that on most of the coins. He has counterfeited 1939, 1944, 1946, and I believe 47 and 49. I might have one of the dates off, but this one right here is one of the more well-known, one of the more readily available out in the marketplace. And this one was a recent sale. This one sold for $99.99. Not too bad. The coins themselves will exhibit kind of like rough-looking, textured, detailed surfaces on the coin. You'll see pitting or rust on the actual devices in God We Trust and Liberty and the date. So I think that maybe a set of dies had some pitting or rust on there, and they were being used to produce these counterfeit nickels. This one has a die crack here that goes from the S to the dome. And a lot of the details will be mushy. Okay, don't kid yourself. You're not going to find one of these in high grades. The idea was to produce tens of thousands of these and circulate them and kind of launder them so that way, they would just kind of fall between the cracks, so to speak. You don't want them to be brand new because they're going to show more flaws in the counterfeit work. So that's why you produce these worn down, circulated type pieces. All right, so this is the one example that sold here within the last day. Okay, there's another one that's currently on eBay. Sorry, the pictures are kind of not fantastic. There's being sold by the Coin Look. Okay, and that's why you see the little company mark on the bottom right of each image. But this is the 1946 Henning Nickel. This one also has the same loop here on the bottom of the R. This one is comparatively a lot tougher to find compared to the 44. All right, so this one right here has 8 days left in auction and is bid up to $510. Okay, that's how much these are worth. They're worth a lot of money, especially any other date outside of 1944. You're really going to rake in some cash with these counterfeit nickels. Now, some of you are going to say, well, they're counterfeit, so they shouldn't have any market value whatsoever. But we're talking about a period of time, okay, post-war, and, this was something that, a lot of people were beginning to get some interest in as recently as about 15 years ago. All right, so that's where the enhancement in the actual value of these coins lie, is that, it's just an interesting kind of like folklore in U.S. coinage, okay? Because counterfeiting has always been a thing, going all the way back 300, 400, 500 years, not just in U.S. coins, but all coins. So this is the last coin on the list. Make sure you follow this one because I am interested in seeing if this one will eclipse like $1,000, because that'd be huge, huge, huge news. But anyways, thank you guys for watching Pocket Change Market Report. A lot of fun. I'm your host, Sean, with BlueRidgeSilverhound, always telling you guys to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content, or if you enjoyed my channel in general. I want to thank everyone for watching. It sure was a lot of fun. Make sure that as you go into this new week, that you keep your eyes peeled. There's a lot of great stuff out there. Even with a coin shortage, there's a lot of you that still have access to coins. And hey, why not? Might as well take advantage of all of the coolest things that's going on right now and try and make a few bucks in the process. So anyways, guys, for all you coinaholics, we are discovering together. Take care, have fun, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you next time.